Welcome to the Jaron Jarvis channel. I am Jaron Jarvis. Today, I would like to introduce to you, I'm on the run, and this is my story. I'm going to start out by saying names will be changed. However, this 100% true. This is my story, and I'd like to share. I'm 20 and have recently moved from Alaska where I grew up to here in Eastern Washington. I just got a job doing construction, which is at least 40 hours a week. I don't have a place to stay and have no problem being alone. So I made a small campsite about 2 miles into the woods outside of town. I park my small Ford Ranger pickup along the dirt road and walk to my camp every night and of course head to work the next morning. I often camped by myself for fun, so this just seemed like the best option. I have met many people in my 2 months in town, and had met a couple of boys from the local college campus that were my age. Recently they asked if I knew where to get any coke. Just because I had randomly walked into a few parties, I actually did. So I hit up the only guy I knew, not something I'd normally buy as I preferred weed. But I thought if I could make a little money on top, it would be worth it. They wanted an ounce, which I thought was absolutely insane. The man I initially hit up said he didn't have anything, and referred me to a friend of his, who we will call Ramsey. Now, Ramsey took a whole day to respond, and when he did, all he gave me was an address. So I drove to the bank, pulled the $1,300 it was for the ounce and headed his direction. I parked about 3 blocks down and around the corner and started walking. I had a backpack with the money in it, strolled up to his door and knocked. A small blonde woman about 5 feet 2 inches answered the door and yelled Ramsey. Obviously the man who came into the room was Ramsey. He was sweaty, looked like he'd been up for 5 days straight and his pupils were the size of Russia. Immediately realizing this guy was tweaked out, I held my breath and walked in. I pulled out his cash and placed it on the coffee table next to massive pistol as I sat down, saying I believe this is for you in way too polite of a tone. He didn't say anything and handed me the package, which was wrapped in what appeared to be plastic and electrical tape. He grabbed the money off the table, and walked to a gun cabinet with an absolutely insane amount of money. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maybe more, I'm really not sure. The bottom half was stacked and was still in bands, while the top portion was just random cash piled up. Seeing this, I stupidly exclaimed, "That's a fucking insane amount of cash." He simply grabbed the tray from what appeared to be his girlfriend, and offered me a line of coke. To which I declined. "So what's your fucking problem?" Ramsey yelled while simultaneously throwing the tray across the room. "You come in here and ask questions, snoop around, what do you want, my fucking money or some fucking coke?" Before I can even get my first word out, he scoops a massive pile of cash with both arms and puts it directly on my lap, literally so much money the corners of the stacks of cash hurt my fucking legs. He picks up his gun, pointing it toward the door, screaming, "Leave, go ahead, take it. Go." Realizing he would probably just beat my ass if I had the balls to walk off with his cash, I sat there frozen. Now during all of this his girl wandered into the kitchen, and began doing lines of coke off the counter just behind Ramsey. A lot of lines. And she interrupted him saying, "I think I did too much coke." My chest, she explains, and appeared to be hyperventilating. Grabbing her chest and beginning to cry and freak out, Ramsey yells, "Oh, shut the fuck up." He turns around and begins to argue. The both begin yelling and don't really allow the other to speak. My backpack was still at my feet with the coke already inside, so I did kind of a titty dance and shook all the cash I could into my backpack from of my lap and chest. I didn't hesitate. This guy didn't even know my name. I knew I was in a tight situation, but I also knew I had to leave. He seems to have not realized I existed for about 30 seconds. And that's all I needed. "I hoped you do this every time," yells Ramsey, still waving a gun around. With Ramsey's back to me and only a screen door to open, I ripped the backpack's zipper up and made a beeline for the door, which was about 3 feet to my left. Cash still all over me, it flew all over the room. All I heard was Ramsey yell "fuck" as I hopped a small 4-foot fence and ran as fast as I could. Just hoping I shut the zipper all the way, I began running through yards and hopping fences. I waited near some shrubs in someone's backyard for a few before running to my truck and leaving as fast as possible. While driving, I changed my shirt and put a hoodie on, and drove directly to my camp where I have hidden since no one knows of it. This was 3 days ago. I've counted the money 4 times over and it's about $236,000. The man who referred me was blowing my phone up, and they are all looking for me according to a couple friends. I got rid of my phone and I'm not sure what to do quite yet. I got a new phone but don't know anyone and feel quite isolated. I'm not sure what to do. I'm in a small cafe now with Wi-Fi, and I'll have more to share as a lot has been happening. For now, I must eat. I'll update tomorrow. _crazy_life